Hello, hello. My name is Infies, and I'm working on a indie game. I wanted to show it off for the first time. Been working on it for a couple months now. Feel like it's worth kind of like, you know. It's based on some of my favorite games ever when it comes to like more simple gameplay loops. Games like Cruelty Squad, which is a terrible example of simple. But I love Cruelty Squad. I love Ultra Kill. I love um what? Oh, it's also very much based on Watch Dogs. I love Watch Dogs, and it's kind of have the same like topic and topic matter of Watch Dogs. Um, Mechanics wise, it's very much a basic shooter so far. I have a lot planned for it. A lot of things taken from games like Cyberpunk with the little implant system, and I wanted to feel a little bit like an extraction shooter, but not really at all. I don't know how to explain it. I want you to be able to grab weapons in the game and take them to your base, but not lose them if you die in end game, because that'd be lame. I can't even lie, especially for a game like mine. It's linear, unfortunately. I don't have the budget for a non-linear game yet. I've made small games before. I won't even consider them games, more like demos or little tests, just to see what Godot could do when I was first learning Godot. Uh, but this time it's like an actual game I want to sink my time into, and that's shown me a lot of challenges I've like never seen before in anything else. Because back then I wasn't one to sink much time into making art because I knew none of the little projects I was working on were gonna go anywhere. But this time, it's like art is taking up more time than anything else. I've made like one gun model and like a few maps, taking me days for both. Like just making a map without using any like blender or anything takes me like a week. And then the gun took me like 4 days plus texturing, and then I had to figure out how to import them all into Godot. I use Trench Broom for making maps, and I use Funk Godot to import them, and I just had to like waste so much time trying to figure out how to get GLF files for Blender shit to work. It's it's a unique challenge. I'm using it as a learning experience, so I'm glad to have these challenges. But yeah, the hardest programming based challenge I've had so far has been getting the guns to work how I want them. Originally, I was just gonna have it be like a static model that just kind of sat there and was gonna have animations. But then I decided that it would be way cooler if it kind of acted like how landfall games do, where it's its own physical object that can bump into walls and stuff. And I got it to work, but it took me like a week and it's still janky, but physics in games are always janky, so I don't know what I expected. I think it's a upside though, because I think jank makes games a little more fun, and I personally really like how it looks. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Hello, I've come back from the dead, no longer asleep or half asleep or whatever I was yesterday. But I got a lot of stuff to say about how games are made. And one of the things is that programming is like so much less of game development than I thought. I'm programming often, but not as much as I thought I would be. When I first started this project, I genuinely thought I was gonna spend more time in the terminal than in the engine, because I used to use NeoVim to make or to write code. Now I just use the Godot like text editor because NeoVim is just like another window that I don't have to manage. But Yeah, programming is a lot less of this project than I thought it would be. Um, More of it is in the engine than anything else. A lot of it is in other software because I have to make the assets before I can use them. And so, if I had to give out a little tip to any other aspiring young developers out there, it'd be learn your engine, learn your creative software, and learn all that nice stuff before you even touch programming. Well, actually, no, that's not true. You should be acquaintances with programming, but when you're starting your first project, you should know your engine before you should know how the engine's language. Because I spent a lot of time. I have like 300 hours on Godot on Steam or something like that. Because I used to have it on Steam instead of the AUR or whatever. But I had like 300 hours and I'd made nothing. But I spent a lot of that time just tinkering with different things and learning what the nodes do. And that has made me mess up less than not knowing how to program. I've messed up code a lot and I've had to rewrite some code, but I'd much rather have to rewrite a bunch of code that I already know what it does than have to rebuild an entire system from scratch. Cuz like if I was using the wrong type of node for my player controller, which I'm not. I'm using kinematic body, but you can also do rigid bodies, which have better physics integration. If I one day was like, I'm switching to a rigid body, I would have to rewrite almost everything and reset up the player. And that would take so much more time than doing it correctly and also just like messing up the code. I'm okay with messing up code, and you should be too. Mistakes happen. There's nothing wrong with it, especially in game development. You're almost never gonna write a script and have it work the first try. Hello. This is the end of the video. I'm gonna talk a little bit more, but then you can be on your way. I just wanted to say that I'm very thankful for you actually sticking through and watching the whole video. But also next video, hopefully I'll have a lot more content to show because I've been working on this game for about 4 months now, 3 months. But yeah, most of it has just been making like the foundation. So now that a lot of the foundational parts are like almost done, I think I'm getting a lot closer to adding content. Because right now, of course, there's not a lot to show. That's why the video has been blurred this whole time, and that's why, like, I don't talk much about the actual game. I talk more about the development process. So next video hopefully will be actual content about the game I'm making, and also more stuff to show you because I really do want to show you cool stuff. I just don't have any stuff done yet. I'm working on upgrades. I'm working on guns. I'm working on 3D models. I'm working on as much as I can. I just appreciate you sticking around. So hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget about me. It's probably gonna take me a bit to come out. Probably a week or two. Two to 3 weeks, I'd say. I don't know. We'll see. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.